Thank you for joining us on this journey. Don't forget to tap the bell, subscribe, and comment down below. Hello.
How you doing?
Good, how are you?
Great, very good to see you.
Nice to
That
see
was
you too. You guys look wonderful, all dressed up in your fancy shirts.
Well, I do have to go to the office after this, but you know.
Yeah. Awesome. Well, we can get started here. Why don't you start off by introducing yourselves, where you live, and what you do for work?
Hi, I'm Ben. We live in Brisbane, Australia, here in beautiful New Farm, which is a lovely suburb just right along the river. We're back onto a beautiful park. I'm an architect, and I specialize in, I've done a lot of work in schools as well as uh, retirement living kind of projects. Generally work on larger projects, kind of big public buildings, which is exciting, and get to do a lot of that kind of interesting stuff. I spent a lot of time designing schools and working in kind of learning a lot about kind of the architecture of learning and which has been super interesting and working with teachers to design kind of really advanced pedagogical spaces, which is really cool. Adrian?
I'm Adrian. I'm a public transport planner, so I've been doing that for quite some time, and it's a lot of fun. So I love to travel and transport. Actually born here in Brisbane, but grew up in Melbourne, and we both moved back to Brisbane about a year ago. So and been here for about a year or so, but Ben grew up here, so that's why we're back up here now.
Very, very cool. Ben, your job description sounds very much up my alley with education and teaching and whatnot. Because I'm a kindergarten teacher, so that's really cool to hear a little bit about what you do for your job and making the education system, the education world, a better place.
Oh,
Can you guys start off by telling us how you guys met?
Right. Well, in 2016, I decided to take a bit of a gap year from work, and I decided to go and live in New York as a base for travel. So I decided to spend a year kind of, traveling and just, chilling and having out. I love musical theatre. I've got some friends in New York, so that's where I decided to base myself. And so I was living in New York, and basically on a long kind of vacation. And then Ben, who we actually talked a bit online before that, then said he was coming to New York, and we agreed to meet. And he walked into the nightclub, and I was just kind of like, "Holy crap, he's amazing!" So we kind of just like. It's like one of those sort of stereotypical movie things, sort of, saw each other and just, like the rest of the world kind of went away. It was just us talking,
Yeah.
and all night.
all night. So instant attraction, and then didn't really fall in love for at least like 3 days.
Yeah.
But we had to kind of work fast because Ben was only in New York for a week.
Yeah. And then before I was I was moving to Toronto. I was actually on my way, so I was
Oh,
doing the second
wow.
visit. Right, I hadn't dated anyone from a year because I didn't want to get into a long distance relationship. What do? I do? Go meet an Australian in New York. Go figure.
Yeah.
Um, so yeah, we did. We went away to Fire Island for a couple of days, or
Yeah.
for a day, and then I flitted when we flitted backwards and forwards between New York and Toronto for the
About
first couple
six
of
six
months.
months or so, and then
Okay.
and then so then when I went back to work in Melbourne, we were then doing the long distance thing between Melbourne and Toronto, which is about as far apart as you can get. And so I should publicly thank my boss at this point for letting me take time off to go back with them because I was in Toronto about every 10 weeks, and we did that for about another year and a half, and then finally dragged this one back to Melbourne, Australia. So and that was in 2016. So it's been 7 years since we met.
Wow. That's quite the story. Cause that would
It's not
be
bad,
that's long
yeah.
distance. Very, very cool.
And
So I heard recently that you guys got married.
that's that getting married might be an understatement given the scale of the production that occurred. First of all, proof the rings. Yay!
Love it.
Yeah, so I mentioned before that I sort of like theatre, and we basically put on a bit of a production. So the wedding was a kind of an 80-minute.
All singing, all dancing extravaganza.
So
Um,
we had a musical director before we found our celebrant, and then we had to find a celebrant who could sing because she needed to do a couple of numbers in the show, and that was look, it was spectacular. I mean, it was. I mean,
we had so many of our friends going to be part of it. My niece sung, Adrian's friend sung. We had all people give speeches. It was a mix of kind of some contemporary songs and a lot of musical theatre songs. A lot of the songs that we kind of some of the stuff we saw on Broadway around when we met.
an old piano version of Darude Sandstorm, which was hilarious. 110 seat theatre, musical director, so live, yeah, piano, songs, dances, and what I really liked about it was that because it was such a lovely kind of production, because the speeches were part of the show, it meant that after the wedding was finished, of course, the wedding being the grand finale in the production, we then all hopped on a large articulated bus, public transport planner, and went back.
He got a Brisbane City Council bus.
Really big, long, articulated bus.
Wow.
So all the guests just then hopped on the bus and went back to Ben's parents' place, which is lovely, and we just did a massive party, and it meant that
with a 3 meter high giant unicorn and rings of fire and
it's completely over the top. You'll love it. But the photos are amazing. The fire symbolizing kind of our interest in fire from Burning Man. I think the unicorn's closer to 4 meters than 3, but it was a big unicorn.
Yeah.
But it meant that the actual party was then just an awesome party because you'd already done the speeches and stuff, so everyone just relax and have a great time.
No
it was
stress.
the best wedding ever, and no correspondence to be entered into. It was good. It was good.
I love it. That sounds amazing. I don't think I have ever been to a wedding that sounds like your wedding.
No one has.
That is our consistent feedback. It is unlike anything else anyone has seen before, which is precisely what we wanted.
Exactly.
A day to remember forever, and everyone will remember it for that reason as well. Do you guys have some pictures that you would like to share with us?
We do.
Okay, you can go ahead and share your screen, and then I'm just gonna let you scroll through the pictures, and if you have any stories, you can also share those as well.
This is us at the wedding. It's kind of this is just after we got married at the end of it. So that's the theatre we were in, which is a lovely, beautiful kind of black box theatre. This is us getting ready for the wedding. This is us at reception. My family. So one of the things I do, I have quite a large family. This isn't all of it. Not even all my immediate. I have a whole bunch more nephews and nieces. This is we took a big cast photo at the end of the wedding.
Oh wow!
Which was really nice because it meant that everyone's already sitting in the seats in the theatre, so we were able to get the big kind of shot of everyone.
Yeah, of course.
Which was kind of one of the objectives. So had the photographer stand on the stage.
This was my niece made us a cake for the wedding. And this is my niece who made the cake, and that's the front of the cake. So on the back we had that little adventure awaits, and inside it was all rainbow.
Oh wow!
Which was amazing.
Fantastic.
That's cool.
This is Adrian's family.
So that's my sister and my nephews and niece and brother-in-law and my parents.
So we did something a bit ridiculous with our wedding. We had something called
Duck Lotto.
Duck Lotto, which was
I will explain. I collect little rubber ducks, and what we did was we ordered a lot of rubber ducks from Temu, the online store.
Mm-hmm.
Every seat in the auditorium had a rubber duck on it, and they're all different designs. And when it came to the appropriate moment, our celebrant came out and said, "All right, everyone, hold up the rubber duck that was on your seat. Who has a red triangle on the bottom of their duck?" And that's how we randomly picked our witnesses for the wedding.
This is on the bus.
On the way back to the auditorium. So on the way back to the party. That's the big moment, putting the rings on. The stained glass background in the background was projected.
It's like a Pegasus unicorn in the background. You can just see his horn there.
Yeah.
And then you've got us in our ring of fire, or in the ring of fire.
Because you've got a ring of fire and you're trying.
Wow, of course.
What's a party without one?
Of course.
So that was some highlights of the wedding.
And my family does a lot of is Christmas. Christmas for us is like a multi-day extravaganza. We generally start on the 23rd and run through to about the 27th.
It was kind of like our first big kind of holiday after I went back to Melbourne. So when I flew to see Ben in Toronto, we did a quick trip down to Machu Picchu and walked up there, which was glorious.
That is very, very cool.
Stop sharing.
I would love to travel to Peru one day. That is on my bucket list. Absolutely.
Sure. Would recommend. And if you're up to it, guinea pig is delicious.
Oh, I don't know. I don't know if I could do that.
Cut that one from that one.
That is something, yeah.
True though.
Very adventurous.
But that might put, yeah.
Well, I have a couple questions for you in terms of your journey. So we're going to jump into that quickly here. Can you give us kind of a shortened version of what your journey has looked like so far?
So we started at the height of COVID. So we were kind of in a situation where we started formalizing something we'd wanted to do right from the very start. In fact, one of the things that we talked about in that first week when we first met was our attitude towards children, if we wanted to have them, etc. And we had a conversation on about the third day we met, where Ben was like, what do you think about kids? I'm like, yes, I want to have children, etc. Like that. And then Ben said, I call stay-at-home dad, so Ben called stay-at-home dad pretty early. So we knew that kids were going to be part of our relationship from very early on. Because we started the process in COVID, we had to ship things to Toronto for the creation of embryos.
Yep.
So that all happened during the height of COVID, which involved a large cryogenic container, and that was very funny. with the journey, we've learned that you've got to sort of learn to sort of laugh and have fun with the process, because it is long.
Yeah.
It's taken us a number of years to get to this point. So we have embryos created. We have an awesome egg donor out of Toronto. So we have, and she produced a very large number of eggs for us. So we have lots of embryos, which is fantastic. And so yes, we have lots of frozen children,
which is great. I'll go into the other kind of bit as well. It's been a long journey for us as well. We started kind of in 2020. And we've had a few setbacks on the way. We unfortunately lost one egg donor was not able to complete the donation because she felt pregnant just before the donation, which is
surprise to her and to us. So,
yes, of course.
Yeah, that was kind of hard, and unfortunately as well, we've our first surrogate was not able to conceive. She was amazing and fantastic, and we kind of, everyone gave it their best, but unfortunately nature sometimes doesn't work out.
Yeah.
And that's just some of the knocks you have to take along the way. But we're super hopeful and super grateful. There's things we have to take the joy where we can, and that we've met so many amazing people throughout, and our previous surrogate, even if we don't like knowing that she won't be our surrogate, but she's a friend we will continue to talk to, and we still do talk to. And those amazing relationships that we're going to keep building along the way.
Yeah, that's amazing. I think, the part where you're able to move past something really, really hard, like your journey is an emotional roller coaster. There's ups and downs, and the fact that your surrogate wasn't able to carry for you, but you're still able to have that relationship and keep that relationship going is so unique and so important. Can
Yeah.
you give us a picture of when you meet your new surrogate in the future? What would that relationship look like?
So really, it's something that kind of with that evolves over time. It's
Mm.
something that we want to be based on kind of mutual respect and understanding and love and appreciation for what they're doing. It's like it's
Yeah.
such an incredible gift, and they are just by that so they're such an amazing people at a base level. Um, and that's it. We look find shared interests and find things that kind of we have in common and even working just to build that rapport over time and
Yeah.
find that happy level. That's kind of what we found works.
Yeah, I mean, we're very conscious that our surrogate will, probably have a family and children of her own, etc., like
Mm-hmm.
that, and we don't want to sort of impose, on them too much. But um, we found it sort of worked really well, sort of organically, just sort of chatting, as we wanted to, etc. So I guess it's a relationship based on sort of respect that we don't want to sort of take up all their time, etc. It's really important that they, that we know their family has to come first. So we will be open to talking to them in as much or as little as they kind of want.
Yeah, that's amazing. Okay, I have one last question for you. What are you most excited for right now in this moment?
Ooh. Um, Look, it's just the hope and kind of the promise of what's to come. It's been a long journey for us. It would have been nice to kind of have this happen sooner, but just having faith that it's all happening for a reason is kind of good. So
Yep.
yes, it is interesting. We've had other couples we know that are going through this process as well who have not kind of experienced some of the same delays that sort of we have, and
Mm-hmm.
so they're already sort of, they already have gorgeous children. So there's that sort of slight tinge of jealousy there but yeah, so we're really hopeful that this process will work smoothly from here on out.
And I'm really excited just to be a dad and looking forward to kids and yeah, I sing so many silly songs that I need a little child to project them onto. Adrian's kind of rolling his eyes. It's kind of like
No, it's very obvious what our various sort of dad styles are going to be,
Yeah.
and Ben will be the sing silly songs and do kind of stuff, and yeah, it's I think we're going to make fantastic parents. So because we're at a stage in our life where we're sort of able to you know um, care for them and keep
Yeah.
them alive and all the other things you need to do.
Yeah.
So I'm not saying it's not daunting, but I think we're both at really a really
I would hope
really
that every parent is at the stage of life where they can keep them alive.
I hope so.
That's just a minute.
what's
They're the bars there.
I think we're going to do really well.
Yes,
Right.
I think so too.
And it's going to be a lot of fun.
It'll be amazing. And I'm very, very excited for that moment when you get to meet your surrogate and begin that part of your journey.
Yes,
It's
very
very,
excited.
Fantastic.
very exciting. All right. Well, that is it. So thank you so much for taking the time to do this with us. And with that, I will let you have the rest of your day.
Thank you very much.
All
Thank you.
right. Okay.
Thanks.
See you.